Picture this, you're at a fancy international buffet, but instead of food, there's money, lots of it. And right in the center, piled high like a mountain of mashed potatoes is the US dollar. It's everywhere and everyone wants a piece. But what if suddenly, everyone at this money buffet decided they were sick of dollars? What if they all said, you know what, I'm gonna try some of that Yuan over there, or maybe a bit of that Euro casserole. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because that's exactly what some countries are thinking about doing. This isn't just some boring economic mumbo-jumbo. This is about the very foundation of our global financial system. So let's dive into this dollar dilemma. Alright, let's say countries start giving the dollar the cold shoulder. What happens next? Well, it's not like flipping a switch, it's more like trying to untangle your headphones after they've been in your pocket for a week. First off, countries would need to find a new currency to use for international trade. Maybe they pick another big currency like the euro or the Chinese yuan. Or they might go for something completely different like a basket of currencies or even, brace yourself, cryptocurrency. Changing the global currency system is like trying to change the tires on a car while it's still moving. Now here's a $1,000,000 question, or should I say a million yuan question. If countries ditch the dollar, will it become more valuable or less? Well, buckle up, because the answer is about as clear as mud. On one hand, you might think that if the dollar becomes rarer, it'll be worth more. Some economists argue that if there's less demand for dollars, the US could just print fewer of them, keeping the value stable or even making it go up. But hold your horses, it's not that simple. If countries stop using the dollar for international trade, that could seriously hurt its value. The dollar's value is tied to its usefulness. And if it's not useful anymore, well, you do the math. If countries dump their dollar reserves, flooding the market with greenbacks, the value could plummet faster than a lead balloon. So the answer to whether the dollar's value will go up or down, it's complicated. Debt dilemma. Countries with dollar loans. Now let's talk about countries with dollar loans. If the dollar gets ditched, these countries might find themselves in hotter water than a lobster at a seafood restaurant. Why? Because they borrowed in dollars, but their income is in their local currency. If the dollar's value shoots up, these countries are in for a world of hurt. Their debt would suddenly become much more expensive to repay. Imagine if your student loan doubled overnight. Not a pretty picture, right? Countries could find themselves struggling to make payments, potentially leading to defaults. On the flip side, if the dollar's value drops, these countries might think they've hit the jackpot. Their debt would become cheaper to repay. But don't break out the champagne just yet. A weaker dollar could lead to all sorts of other economic problems like inflation or trade imbalances. The bottom line is, countries with dollar loans are in a tricky spot. The ripple effect global economic consequences. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. If countries start ditching the dollar, it wouldn't just affect the US and countries with dollar loans. Oh no, this would be like dropping a boulder in a pond. The ripples would spread far and wide, affecting pretty much everyone. First off, global trade could get messy. The dollar is like the common language of international commerce. If we lose that, it's like everyone suddenly speaking different languages at a United Nations meeting. Chaos. Prices could become more volatile, making it harder for businesses to plan and invest. Then there's the issue of global financial stability. The US dollar is seen as a safe haven in times of economic turmoil. Take that away, and you might see investors panicking like teenagers at a boy band concert. Some argue that moving away from dollar dominance could lead to a more balanced global economy. Of course, getting there would be about as smooth as riding a pogo stick through an earthquake. But hey, no pain, no gain, right? Your turn. Join the conversation. Alright folks, we've taken quite the journey through the wild world of international finance. We've explored what might happen if countries decide to give the dollar the boot, whether the greenback would soar or sink, and how countries drowning in dollar debt might fare. But here's the thing, this isn't just some theoretical exercise, this is real-world stuff that could affect all of us, from the contents of our wallets to the stability of our jobs. So, what can we do? Well, for starters, we can stay informed, pay attention to what's happening in the world of finance and international relations. And that's where you come in, dear viewer. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think countries will actually ditch the dollar? What do you think would happen if they did? Drop your comments below, and let's get a conversation going. And while you're at it, why not hit that like button and subscribe to Express Econ Geofinance Insights?